Hello and welcome to Traveling with Luigi. In this episode, my wife and I will be visiting the beautiful temple of Philae or Philae, located in the city of Aswan in the south of Egypt. To get to this temple, and if you are staying in Cairo, you will take a 1 hour 20-minute flight into the international airport of Aswan. Now, as it is an international airport, this means that you don't have to travel through Cairo, but you could fly directly into this city from international locations. The temple is located near the Aswan Low Dam downstream of Lake Nasser. This map shows you the distance between the airport and the marina to take a boat to visit the temple, which is located in the island of Agilkia. The construction of Aswan High Dam will have flooded the temple complex. Therefore, it was dismantled and moved to this island, the Agilkia Island, as part of the UNESCO Nubia Campaign project before year 1970. King Ptolemy II, in year 285 to 246 BC, started construction of the oldest structure in the temple complex, that is, the Temple of Isis. Let us take a look at the layout of the temple. This is the landing place, the Kiosk of Nectanebo, the west colonnade, the east colonnade, the first pylon, the mamissi, the Temple of Isis, and the Kiosk of Trajan. Let us start with the Kiosk of Nectanebo. The entrance to the island was originally constructed by King Nectanebo I. He was the first ruler of the last dynasty. The Kiosk of Nectanebo I was built on the southern end of the island. It stands at the main entrance of the colonnade. It was built to honor Isis, and it is clear that it was the prototype for the later kiosks on the island and elsewhere. We are in the outer court that leads to the Temple of Isis. It should be about 100 meters ahead. The court is flanked by two colonnades. To the left, the 32 columns of the colonnade follow the shoreline. It is very interesting that all the capitals are different from each other. The shafts show Tiberius making offerings to the Egyptian gods. This is the east colonnade. It follows a similar theme to the west colonnade. At the distance, you can appreciate the first pylon. The huge entrance pylon is 18 meters high, that's 54 feet, and 45 meters wide, or 105 feet. On the right, you can see the gate of Ptolemy II, also the engravements of Hathor, Horus, and Isis. Now, on the other side, passing through the gate of Ptolemy II, you will see Ptolemy XII, depicted as Pharaoh raising his club above the enemies to smite them in the presence of the gods. This was a way for the Ptolemaic kings to give themselves credit for eliminating Egypt's enemies and honoring local traditions. We now see two granite lions guarding the entrance. They are of late Roman times. Passing through the gateway, we come to the Great Court. To the left is the birth house. This is the mamissi, or birth house for Horus. Around three sides of the building runs a colonnade with floral capitals surmounted with sistrum capitals and Hathor heads. The colonnade surrounding the birth house is completely decorated, as you can see. We approach now the second pylon, which is smaller in size than the entrance pylon and is not aligned with it. We have images of the king presenting offerings to Horus and possibly Hathor, his wife. To the right, there is a large granite block constructed into the base of the tower, inscribed by the Kushite pharaoh Taharka in 730 BC. This rock provides information about the taxes on fishermen, and it is the earliest piece of work on the island. Let us take a look now at the inside of the temple. The hypostyle hall is adorned with reliefs on the wall, across the ceiling, and in the columns from shaft to capital. But let's practice our hieroglyphic reading. Q, L, E, O, P, A, V, R, A, Cleopatra. This hall was converted into a church in the Christian period, and the wall reliefs were covered with stucco and painted. Christian crosses were chiseled in the walls and on some of the columns. We continue our journey into the temple, passing through the usual priestly chambers and storerooms until we reach the sanctuary. Here you can see a pedestal on which the sacred barge bearing the statue of Isis stood. This pedestal was installed by Ptolemy III and his wife Berenice. This is a relief of the king presenting perfume offerings to Isis and Horus as a baby, who is being breastfed by his mother. This other relief shows Isis protecting Osiris with her wings and the king presenting offerings. Now we are stepping outside to the east part of the temple of Isis. You can see reliefs of the king smiting his enemies decorating the walls. There are other smaller structures, among those the temple of Augustus, and also the temple of Hathor, the wife of Horus. The Kiosk of Trajan is rectangular in shape and surrounded by 14 columns with floral capitals. The Emperor Trajan, dating from 19 to 117 AD, is depicted burning incense in front of Osiris and Isis, and offering wine to Isis and Horus. This is possibly the most graceful of the many elegant buildings on the island, and the one for which Philae is most remembered. Well friends, that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, but before I go, I would like to encourage you to include visiting this temple when you make plans to visit Egypt. It was very enjoyable for my wife and I. We really had a great time. And in addition to all this, we had a boat ride in the Nile, so that was a big plus. So we learned a lot, we had a great time, and we are very positive that you will also when you visit. So again, thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, and as I usually say, happy travels!